Evening, gentlemen. Bear here, and it took about a week, but I finally recovered from Independence Day celebrations. An unprecedented amount of adult libation was guzzled over the course of 2 days that left me suicidal and immobile, but I have nevertheless returned for another exciting gameplay commentary. As you can see on screen, I have fished a pair of hungry sharks from the toxic coast of the Gulf of Mexico, fed them a strict, well-balanced diet of vengeance, and have strapped them to my mighty paws. Don't let the cute and cuddly bear tattoos on their sides lull you into a false sense of security, because these ravenous fish beasts have an obvious appetite for destruction. With my vicious sharks equipped, I head across this small platform, turn the corner, and get circumcised by a shithead who doesn't know what the right trigger does. My testicles swollen with rage, I return to the scene of the crime, sledgehammer these two pretty boys with my swords of justice, and wear their entrails like a feather boa. After tearing a rift through the space-time continuum, I double-dip my proverbial nacho into a cheesy, oniony sauce of murder. I then retreat across the map, summoning legions of carrier pigeons and vampire bats for glorious intel to sway the tide of battle. With the assurance that there's no one nearby on my mini-map, I casually thrust my tool of insertion into the warplane, turn around the corner, and uppercut these assassins in the family jewels. Leaving their man-fruit barren, I reload my biscuit shooters and flip the switch to 11 on my beast mode transmogrifier. Despite being blinded by the jizz lobbed in my eye, I thrash around in order to regain my composure, then fling Dilophosaurus venom into the faces of these three jerk-offs here. I sharpen my knife on the buttery air and enter the red light district to prime my tools with the tears of a recently poached African elephant. After being rewarded a distinguished amount of XP for my steady aim expertise, I flush another 3 turds down the porcelain wormhole, survive a tickling from this French maid holed up in the corner, and slap her down with a vengeance before being given a vasectomy by another seeping douchebag who failed kindergarten. Re-engaged, I serve a steaming slice of fuck you to these shitbirds. My enormous brain suggests I leave one in the chamber though, so I do and use it to eviscerate this bitch who thought he could catch me unaware. I turn around and go about my business, only to get sprayed down by an unbalanced piece of shit rifle, so it doesn't count, goddammit. Still unable to summon roasting hellfire, I catch another talentless ghost douchebag in the chest with a pair of haymakers. I find a nice spot and dial in for murder, swing back around and pump this tool a few times in the guts, but his flesh is infused with the hair from Odin's magnificent beard. The next travel through time is more of the same, wrought with me kicking doors off their hinges and slapping cocaine out of the hands of pimps, johns, and crooked fuzz. Despite my best efforts, it of course culminates in another bullshit death by an overpowered Frenchman's automatic shit dispenser, so now we're subtracting 2 from our death total. A giant space erection flies away off in the distance, leaving a pungent trail of ball funk, but I ignore it and drop down a flight of steps into a cluster of vile noobs. I spare no expense in giving a ghost the business, gather myself for a moment, then step out for another pop magnitude style. Despite the ferocity of the sharks in my paws, I get gunned down by another fucking FAMAS. Subtract 3 deaths from my total. I guzzle a phoenix down, return to the spot of my most recent demise, and chuck a nade into the abyss, but don't catch anything but the cold shoulder. That's okay, because the mini-map says someone's up further ahead. Needless to say, I take him from behind and call his mother a whore. Later on, I meet his friend with a toothache and give him a little oral surgery free of charge. I'm not gonna lie, I know my sharks have the reach of an amputee, so I whip out my peacemaker and shoot this gargoyle 6 times in the rectum, feed my pistol a magazine, and flip the switch to my war buzzards. I reckon it's about time to go on another streak, so I do a quick circle, meander through whatever 3 is, head down the launch pad stairs and slice through Theo Lipschitz here with piping hot lead. Further below, I give my buddy a high five because I'm a bro like that, then set my feet down on the bottom platform and notice a guy off in the distance. Remembering my encounter with the gargoyle and the limited range of my hunger sharks, I avoid him like the hepatitis and return upwards. I kick this birdwatcher off the ledge 300 style, make a quick right, and then stuff this shit burglar's basket with 2 loaves of pain. I pick up my second steady aim challenge because I'm an unstoppable, ravenous death machine and head down the staircase opposite the gargoyle. Midway down, I whip out my cleaver and butcher these 2 dicks like a couple of Polish sausages and obtain my third and final steady aim challenge because I am all that is man. Despite all prayers to Hades, my hellfire once again betrays my best interests and sucks a bag of cocks. A loose bull escapes his spawn and shoots me down like a rabid Labrador retriever. I swallow my rage and gallop back into the fray like an unhinged Centaurian battle commander and fillet this tenacious carp with 7 rounds of weak sauce. A bloated teammate blocks my entrance to the mall below, so I'm forced to detour to the left. My fortunes are well met though, and I kiss this punk in the chops with a flaming knuckle duster. Unsure of what to do next, I stumble around drunkenly for a moment before gathering myself and exacting sweet revenge on the goon that killed me earlier. At long last, I make the deep plunge into the gorge below, but I'm at a loss for things to slap. Just kidding, I whip a sparkler into the face of this hoodlum and kick his genitalia into lady parts. I don't have time to refill my shark power, so I slip my Widowmaker off my hip like John Goddamn Wayne and serve up a dish of Get Owned. I put 3 shots into his shithead friend too, but get fucking killed as he falls into tactical prone. 6th bullshit death, but we'll count it. My napalm is about as useful as a stick in the eye, and once again shits the bed, so I have to set out and do all the work. My Semtex is in cahoots with my napalm, obviously, and is devoid of even a hit marker, so I head back up the map in search of some orange dots. I see one off in the distance, so I check it out with a stun, and miraculously it gets a little something. Feeling confident, I go chase him down and give him the stink fist. I turn to seek more people to annihilate, but wouldn't you know it, a ghost bitch with his sans fucking FAMAS spawns behind me and gives me my 7th bullshit death of the game. Subtract 4 from the final death count, goddammit, and use a real fucking gun. My single objective play is a defensive A with about a second left in the game, just for a stat pad, and it's over. 43-11 with the HS-10s, 43-7 minus the FAMAS, and 43-4 without the bullshit altogether. Eat a dick, napalms. This has been Bear. Thanks for fucking watching. Comment, rate, and subscribe because I'm a desperate asshole.